Land navigation in ARMA can be overwhelming, frustrating, and a few other things, but it also can be learned. We've all been this person right here, lost in the woods in ARMA, can't figure out where to go, and have no clue where you are. Well, very first lesson. Hit start if you're new, go to respawn, and click that button right there. It'll kill you, and it'll set you back to your map here, where you can spawn in at a base, and then you know right where you are because you will spawn in at that base. Now, if I were you, I would find your squad leader, and to figure out which squad you're in is right here. And then once you figure that out, then you go up and go over these little blue X boxes up here and try to find your squad, which mine, it should have your name in it right there, damage dealer. So he's over here at this base. What you're going to want to do is click this, and you're going to want to spawn next to him, because as long as you are next to your squad leader, you will know where you are. I mean, yeah, he could die, but as long as you're right next to him, his blue dot will always show up on the map, so that way you know right where you are. Alright everybody, welcome to Land Nav. This is going to be a beginner's lesson on how to find yourself on the map, anywhere on the map. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to go over is the tools that we're going to be using when trying to find ourselves. We're going to be using your compass, your protractor, and a pencil. Okay? These are the three tools that we are going to be using. Compass, protractor, pencil. Okay? Now the very first thing I'm going to go over with you is your compass. I'm going to try and make this as easy as possible, okay? The map itself always faces north, south, east, west, okay? I want to make sure I say it correctly, because saying west, east, just nobody does that. Anyways, north, south, east, west is your map, okay? Now this line right here, this is an important line on your compass, and a lot of people don't know what this is. But this little black line on your compass tells which way you are facing in the world itself. So if I back out of here, that's which way I'm facing right now. So if we take out our compass, see that black line always faces the way we are facing. So if I wanted to have the map be exact for me in the exact way that I'm facing, I'd have to turn it like this. Okay, now I'm facing exactly north, and now it lines up exactly north. So depending on which direction I am facing is which way that line's gonna move. If I face all the way to the west over here, I pull out my map, it is pointed to the west now. So that's what that's for, and that's gonna be very important later on. So just try to remember that that line is which way you're facing, okay? Next is our protractor. This is going to be used to draw our lines with our pencil to figure out where we are on the map, and I'm going to show you how to use this later. But the very first thing, now that we've kind of gone over what tools we're going to be using and how our compass works, the very first thing we want to do when we're lost, okay, I don't know where I am here, is get to high ground. So we want to get all the way up to the top of this hill up here. Now this is a lot harder to do when it is dark out. That's why I showed you guys in the beginning. If you're super lost, like I said, just hit start, respawn at a base that is near your squad leader, and then you can navigate from there. And look at that. We came up here and we found a little footpath. There's a little connected footpath up here. You want to be looking for structures while you're kind of looking around. Look for things like this, okay? Look at that. Well, now we see water too. That's a good sign. Which way is that water facing? Well, now we're facing true north, correct? So it's kind of to the north there. All right. Now we're up here, and we can kind of see a few things. We can see a building right over there. You can see that there's a structure over there. Little house. And You don't want to move around too much in the body of water. There is something. Oh, I do believe that's an airport right over there. Okay, so we've at least identified 3 things that are around us. Oh, there's a paved road right behind us, and plus the body of water that's running all along here. We're gonna pull up our map and try to figure out where we are on here, okay? And we could be anywhere, right? Here's a body of water. But wait. That body of water was to the north, correct? So we have to be somewhere up here. Matter of fact, let's figure out where north is again. Okay, it's that way for us. And facing exactly that way, we can see that there's a building there. So if we were facing straight north and we see that there's a building, no, and I don't think there's an airport behind us. Actually, we said we can see the airport from the side, from a long ways away. So that would mean that we have to be somewhere up here. Oh, look at that. See these little houses? I see a row of houses. That looks familiar, doesn't it? I'd say that's it right there. There's the paved road we saw behind us. Right there. Okay. So now we're starting to get an idea on where we are. There's a building. Oh. Right there, I think. That's the building I think we see also. Now, let's go over some land features to help you guys out. These are buildings, little square blocks. I'm pretty sure you guys have figured out that's buildings. These, see these dotted lines? You'll see them all over the map too. They're all over here. These little dotted lines, those are footpaths. Okay, they're like matted down dirt footpaths that you can walk through. Obviously, brown is dirt road. Yellow is a paved road, which we think that we see somewhere right back here, I think, where we're at. And then these, which are super important too. You see how these lines kind of connect by dots? These are power lines. It's just good to know some of that stuff when you're looking at the map. So road, dirt road, paved road, footpath, power lines, and building structures. Okay, so now we think we can see this, right? Think we see a sandbank over there. Pretty sure we can see this building. Pretty sure we can see this paved road and the airport. So we gotta be somewhere right in here because we walked up on a footpath that crossed too. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it should be, well, there's one running right alongside us here, and it looks like it kind of X's right there. So we are somewhere in this general area, but that's not good enough. The next thing you need to do is pull out your handy dandy compass here, and I want you to turn at one of those points and aim it right at it and zoom in. Okay, only on one. So we're gonna do that back building back there. Okay, I'm gonna do dead center of that back building. Now look down at your compass and remember what degree that is on the outside degrees. Okay guys, outside. And it's almost at 1. Okay, right at the edge of the building, it looks like it's exactly 1. So let's do that, just so that way it's easier. So pull out our map. This is where we're going to start figuring out exactly where we are. There's that building. Now, the reason we did that, pull out your protractor. And you see this centerpiece right here? Try and get it as centered on that building as you possibly can. If not, get the corner edge that we put on there. Now, it's not going to be exact, but it's going to be very close. We said 1 degree, correct? Take your pencil, click on it, go up here to the outside degrees. Remember, outside. We want the outside degrees only. Mark the 1. And I want you to drag it right over the spot that we were looking at. You see how that's in? That's why we put that in the center there. So we're going to drag it. And I want you to go all the way through like this when you do it. Drag the line all the way down through. Click it there. And there we go. We've made our first line at 1 degree. You're going to do this again with another structure. So this time, maybe let's do this building over here that we can see. Pull out our compass. Aim at it again. Look down to see what degree that is. Let's kind of get it an even one there. So we'll say, what, 43 degrees. Okay. There we go, 43 degrees. Take your protractor again. Just take your protractor. Go down here. I think it was this building we're looking at here. So we're going to put it right on that building. 43 degrees. Okay. Take our pencil. Outside, remember. Find 43. Which should be right here. Mark that. And drag it all the way through like I had you guys do last time. Nice big line all the way down through. There we go. Mark it. Click your protractor off. You can remove your compass if you want, but you don't have to, because guess what? Where these two lines intersect is where you are. So we should be about right here. And that's how you figure out where you are on the map. Find 2 points that you can clearly identify, which we did. We found this building here on the beach. Then we found this building over here. And all I did was took my compass out, figured out what degree it was, and drew lines from those degrees with your protractor. And there you go. Now you figured out where you are on the map. Now you're like, okay, now that I figured out where I am, how do I figure out where to go? Well, let's set something up, okay? First of all, what you could do is you could get, one of the main things you want to do in this game is pre-route everything. So if I'm here and I can see that that housing is there, I know that if I head this way to the north, I'm going to run into this road here. So if I wanted to, let's say I was trying to get to airport, okay? If I wanted to, I could hit this road and just take the paved road until I run into a T. Then I know I have to turn left at that T, go down here. Then I know I have to make a right, because I'd be coming down from the south, and come down this way, and that would lead me into the military site airport. When it comes to navigating, is knowing your route ahead of time. That is huge. If I'm going to go to the south, I know I'm going to run into the dirt road. Okay, but then I know when I hit the dirt road, I need to take it and go to the right, and then maybe take the paved road and take it to the left, and it should run me into the airport. So a lot of it's planning ahead. Now let's say you're out in the middle of the woods. There's not really a lot of roads around that you can get to, and you don't want to take the long way. You want to cut straight through. Okay? We want to head to that flag. Now you're going to do what I taught you to do with your protractor, except a little bit different. So take your protractor out. Put it on you this time, not the building, because we're leaving now. We're not figuring out where we are. We're moving. So put it on you. And now take your little pencil, make a mark right on the X here, right where you are. And I want you to draw it through that building. Let's say that's the building we need to head to. Okay, so just draw it right all the way through. And I mean all the way. Go outside your protractor every time. There we go. And the reason that is so you can read the degrees. If I marked it only here, well, then you'd have to kind of guess where it would have went through when you could just draw it all the way through. So to head to that building from where we're standing right now, we should have to head at about 50, almost 55 degrees. So what we do is get rid of our map here, pull out our compass, look for 55 degrees, turn, 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 turn. We said almost 55, correct? So not quite 55, almost. About right there. And it's kind of cheating because I'm pretty sure that's the building right there, honestly. But if not, you'd aim it like that, Butch, and just start heading that way. As you are walking and doing this, keep checking your compass, because sometimes you are going to have to go out and around things like this. So you're coming up on a structure, right? Make sure we're still heading in the right direction. We are. And now you're like, oh man, let's just say you couldn't get past this, right? Or it's a cliff edge. Well, what you're going to have to do is get all the way up on top of this. Okay, we'll just pretend this is a cliff edge here. And you had to go around. What you're going to have to do is make sure your degrees are right again. See that tree right there? That brown tree? What I would do is, if this was a cliff edge and that was down at the ground, I would go all the way around, get to that tree, stand right at it, and recheck my compass again. Make sure you try to remember what you were looking at if you got to get around. And it is going to look different because obviously you're moving your position, you're moving around. And look at this. Look what we found. A footpath. Dead giveaway on where we are now. So while you're moving, you're also going to be looking for things like this to know where you are. Let's say all of a sudden I start getting shot at and people are like, where are you? And you're like, oh, well, I haven't made it to my objective. I don't really know where I am. Well, you can look at the map here. And we should have been following this red line, correct? So let's get rid of our protractor here. We should have been following this red line. The very first footpath that looks like it leads down to the road is this one. So we're right off of this footpath. We're like right here. So that's how you keep track of yourself on the map. You constantly have to keep looking at your surroundings and looking at your map. And eventually you'll get so used to it, it won't seem like anything. You'll look at this stuff and you'll just know. So now that we're in front of this tree again, we said almost 55, so right there. And notice we can't see it now, but let's see how on we are just by using our compass, okay? I said almost 55, right? So somewhere like right in there. Well, that's not even really pointed at the building that we had it going through. It kind of is on the backside, but you notice we're a little off. Now, if you went all the way across the map, right, and you're off by a little bit, well, a little bit turns into a lot on a long walk. You know, you think we're going to be coming up on the building like this, and you actually end up over here, and it's all the way to your left. Which, that can happen, especially when you're early nabbing, and that's fine. At least you're getting in the general area, and you know where you are. Okay, so we made it to our destination, and now we know that we are right here on the map. And now you can do the same thing. You can nav your way to wherever you want just by using your protractor, putting it on where you are, drawing a line all the way through, and then reading the degree that you need to go on your compass. And it's really just that simple. And if you're lost, like I said, get up somewhere high, find a couple points that you can identify, figure out what degree they are on your outside degrees, and draw lines from that outside in, and wherever those points X is where you are. Okay? Now there's one more thing that I do want to show you when it comes to land nav. Alright, so you're kind of lost, but you found this road, right? And you can't really figure out where you are on the map. There's not really any landmarks that you can identify. What you can do, and you don't want to respawn. You don't want to kill yourself and respawn. Well, one thing you can do is, if you think you can make it, is just head down one of these roads until you see a sign. Okay, so like I'm coming up on this town here, which they usually will lead you to a town eventually. Look at the road signs before you come in. Beauregard, right? Which way am I facing right now? Kind of northeast, Beauregard. Okay. Now, obviously, I don't know where I would be, but it was kind of zoomed in there already. But you'd look around for Beauregard, which, lo and behold, is right here. Beauregard. And which way were we facing? We're coming into the town, correct? Northeast. So we'd be facing the town, and it says which way we're facing, right? So we're on this road facing Beauregard. So this is the town I'm about to enter. Now, what you could do is just find this very first crossroad here. See this dirt path here? Look at that. It's right here. Put yourself right here, right in the cross path. Boom. You know where you are. You are right here. So now you can navigate with what I just taught you from there, or just follow the roads. Like I said, navigate ahead of time. That is key in here, is knowing where to go ahead of time from where you are. One more thing I want to add at the end of this video. I kept calling it degrees. It's not degrees, it's mils. I personally should know better. and I kept saying degrees and noticed it at the end of the video, so I apologize for that. It's not degrees, it's mils. Your inside numbers are degrees. Anyways, hope this video still helped you guys out, and I'll catch you on the next one.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the